guys, this is Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge on the Amstrad CPC Longplay and Review. So yeah, this was released by Gremlin Graphics Software in 1990, and here's all the wonderful box art and the discs. I'm going to get straight into this. We're playing a cracked version of the game, so just ignore that. And this is the loading screen. Takes a little while. And here we go, the title screen. Programmed by Ali Davidson, graphics by Bernie, and actually music by Ben Daglish. Some really excellent music in this game, actually. I think there's about 3 different tunes, and you can hear the other 2 tunes at the end of this video. Cool, we get loads of geeky stuff about the Lotus. Oh, I do love the Lotus Esprit. It's one of my favourite cars, especially from that James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me, where the Lotus goes underwater and stuff like that. I fell in love with the Lotus right from the time I saw that movie. I've always wanted one, but they're a nightmare to look after, apparently. Kind of a bit of a Frankenstein car, parts from various different companies. Anyway, this is obviously a driving game, and a very popular one at the time as well. Went on to spawn lots of other Lotus games, or games based on the engine at least, throughout the 16-bit era. More on that later. And also at the end of this video there is a two-player simultaneous action, if you want to see what the 2-player looks like. But here's the game options. We're going to go for the difficult level of 15 races, which is hard apparently. Enter our name here. We're going to keep automatic gears but have manual accelerate. Now apparently if you have manual gears, you do actually get to a slightly higher speed according to the manual. And well, you do actually need it in this game. I kind of regret using automatic gears, but I'm going to get straight off into it. Portugal, finish 8th or better to qualify for the next race. And we start right slap bang in last place. So here we go. Okay, we're racing against the same Lotus car. They're all the same colour, but obviously I'll be in the centre of the screen there. We've got a really tiny playing area, and I think that's probably the first thing you notice, and you'd be thinking, why is it so tiny? Why have we just got a graphic of the car at the bottom when we could have a larger playing area? Well, as you can see, the frame rate isn't fantastic already, but I think the Amstrad can do better. However, there is a lot going on in this game, and more on that later. Well, that car graphic at the bottom there, well, as you'll see at the end of the video, if you make it to 2 hours, or you want to skip forward, we do have some simultaneous 2-player action, and that's where the second player goes. And it's live in game, and you can race against your opponent and friend. Player 1 being on the top, player 2 being on the bottom, and it works quite well, albeit a little bit slower. So yeah, tiny squashed, tiny playing area, and it does make things a little bit difficult, especially when you're going over hills and going through dips and stuff like that, to see what's coming over the hill or whatever. Makes the game extra hard. So, right, well, I actually recorded this footage about 3 weeks ago, and it's been 3 weeks that I've put this off for, actually. Well, it's a 2-hour video to commentate on. I don't know if I'm going to get to the end of 2 hours. We will see. I'm tired, a little bit ill, and I've opened a glass of I've got a glass of red wine here, and I've finally got a little bit of a free evening to get this done. So not under the best circumstances, so apologies if the commentary isn't up to scratch. And what can you say about a driving game, which looks pretty similar for all the races, apart from the colours changing slightly. It looks very similar to the Spectrum original. In fact, it is probably a specky port. However, it plays about the same speed and frame rate as the Spectrum version. However, it doesn't have the colour clash and bleed. Now, the main thing in this game is to catch up with the second and first place cars, and they are really difficult to catch up and get past. Really difficult. Now, I've been pretty much going at full pelt, top speed, all the way through this course, and I think I've only just come up on the first place car, and we're halfway through lap 4 of 5. And as you can see, he's still really difficult to get past. It's a game that, if you want to get first place, you really can't make a single mistake at all on the course. You may be able to get away with a couple of minor things. Now, I think I was really lucky there that the first place car went into the back of another car that we're about to lap, and that knocked his speed down and I sailed past. I think we'll encounter that a few times in this long play, which has helped me get first place or whatever. Because pretty much there are some courses where it's nigh on impossible to get first place without something happening to the car you're chasing. Because there are laps where you have to refuel, and your opponents don't have to, which is unfair. Does make things a little bit more interesting, I suppose. But yeah, we're doing well here. First place on the final lap, and you can pretty much go, in fact you can go full speed around every bend and every corner. There's no need to sort of slow down, use your brakes, decelerate, use your gears or whatever. So it's, in a way, it's quite arcadey in that respect, that you're not having to sort of really deal properly with bends and turns. Now normally you probably, if you're coming up to a bend in a proper driving simulator, oh, we've just got first place there, fantastic, and we have to wait now until 8 cars have crossed the finishing line, because that was the position to qualify. You have to get at least 8th or above to move on to the next level. If you don't, it is game over, and if you run out of fuel, it is immediate game over as well. No second chances, back to the start of the game. Now, saying that, in proper driving simulators you have to go out wide, slow down, move down a gear, get into the turn, and then accelerate out. This game, no, just go full speed all the way through. Try and take the bends as early as possible. But there we go, race results. First place, Zypho. And you can see there we've got some names there like Nigel Mainsail and James Horns, which are kind of obviously based on famous drivers but changed slightly. Nigel Mainsail being Nigel Mansell, James Horns being James Hunt. And by the way, did anyone see that Rush movie? That was based on James Hunt and the German driver. Wow, what a great movie that is. If you've never seen, I'm sure it's called Rush, from Ron Gilbert. If you haven't seen Rush, go and watch it. Even if you're not a fan of Formula 1 racing, it is a fantastic movie. So, second race. Now talking, right, when we're moving off, just move a little bit to the left. but wait until you see your position change before you sort of scoot in front of the driver you're overtaking. See, this is the start of the race is really crucial to how you do later on. And obviously you're going to get past as many cars as possible at the start of the race. Oops! If you want any chance of getting that first or second place. Oh dear, that is not good. I think we'll be lucky to get first here now. Yeah, but that start of the race is really crucial. Obviously the cars are quite wide and the road quite narrow. If you've got two cars sort of pretty much next to each other, it is almost impossible to overtake them. And you need some real skills to perhaps like squeeze through the middle of them or something like that. So we've got we've got fourth and third coming up here. See how we get past them. Do you know what? Actually, probably the easiest way to overtake it is on a bend. Nearly always they swing out wide. So if you take it really early, you might be able to like hug the inside of the curve and get past them that way. Now the manual doesn't say how you are supposed to take the bends and curves. If you like obviously turn too late and you're pretty much power sliding around it, you'll hear that screeching noise. Now I would have thought that you would go slightly a bit faster if you go out wide, come in close to the bend, so you're basically hugging the curve, a bit like what I'm doing now. I would have thought that would have been faster, but I've kind of found if you go out wide and you sort of power slide around, you tend to catch up with the second, first place cars a lot quicker. Only slightly. It's so hard to notice, and obviously your speed doesn't change. Yeah, I'm trying to get past second place here. Just got him. So it's hard to know which is quicker. And as I played this game more and more, it does seem to be that like if you're going around the bend and you hear the tyres screeching, you seem to catch up quicker. But it's so slight to notice, it's really difficult to say and really difficult to give advice. All I can say is keep going at full pelt. You might as well actually have automatic acceleration on. That was an option rather than manual accelerate, because you're just going to hold down up the entirety of the race pretty much. So yeah, there's the first place, and as you can see it's really hard to catch them up. Which makes things interesting. You can very easily qualify for each race. Taking him, looks like. Oh no, he's just sneaked ahead. Now if you go into the back of him... Whoa. Very nearly went into the back of that other car we were just lapping. If you go into the back of him, you lose a little bit of speed if he's quite fast and you're quite fast. But he doesn't immediately sort of race ahead of you, so you don't lose too much speed. However, if you go into the back of a car going at far less speed, like a car you're about to lap or whatever, certainly the last place cars are going really quite slow. If you go into the back of them, you basically immediately sort of like crash off the road and lose pretty much all your speed, and you might as well give up. Well, no, you can still qualify, but if you're aiming for first place in every race, which I attempted to do on this long play, then you can't crash like that at all. Otherwise, it's pointless. Now, we've got the fuel gauge flash in there. We're on the final lap, so we're gonna be able to do this, which is fine. but on other laps we will need to go to the pit stop and refuel. Oh my god, move out the way quick. Cool. Because that's your real danger there. The car's in last place you're about to lap. If you went into the back of him there and him, you would have like gone immediately off the road and lost all your speed, and you probably would have finished third or fourth. But as you can see here, guys, as we're waiting for the other cars to cross the finishing line, first, second and third are miles ahead of the rest of the cars, pretty much. And we have a little bit of a wait. So yeah, okay. What shall we talk about? We're about 15-16 minutes in now. I suppose I will, as I normally like to do, talk about the programmers and the people behind the game. The programmer was Ali Davidson. Now I don't know much about him and what he's done on the 8-bit systems. I think this game and another driving game from Gremlin Graphics called Toyota Celica GT Rally was done by him, which is the Toyota game is very similar to Lotus. It uses the same engine, but on that game you're not racing against other drivers, you're doing like a rally stage, and it is really tough to control. That game really goes in for sort of realism, and especially on like the curves and bends, you can't fly into them at full pelt, you will go immediately off. And a lot of people hate the Toyota Celica game just because how tough it is, but if you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. And arguably could be the better game. However, this is probably more fun. So yeah, Ali Davidson programmer, Lotus game, the Toyota game, and that's pretty much it on the Amstrad from what I found. However, he has gone on to do some fantastic games. He was one of the main programmers behind the conversion of Outrun 2 and Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. That is probably the best driving game I've ever played. Best arcade driving game. Whoa, lots of crashes there. Been really crap. Oops. Yeah, so he was one of the main programmers in the Outrun 2, Outrun 2006 games. Their conversions to the Xbox and PlayStation, presumably, and they are fantastic. So he's done really well for himself. He's also worked on Dirt 2, Driver 76. What else? God. Blimey, he's done Actual Soccer 2, Actual Ice Hockey, Micro Machines, the version from 2002, Sega Superstars Tennis, Formula 1 2009, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and even I think last worked on Xbox Fitness in 2013. So, and lots more actually. He's also listed as doing Nigel Mansell's World Championship Racing in 1992 for Gremlin. Now that was released on the Amstrad, and it does feel very similar to Lotus and the Toyota Celica game. I think I've done a video about it on my channel actually. That was really good, but I had a worse frame rate than this, but had a lot more going on. So yeah, Ali Davidson, really good. His earliest game I could find is Track and Field from 1983, but for what system that was, I don't know. Presumably Spectrum or something. So really well done. Graphics by Bernie. I've no idea who Bernie is. I may Google him, see if I come up for anything for Bernie programmer. No, I'm not really finding anything at all. If someone knows his full name, let me know in the comments. That'd be interesting. Of course, music by the ever brilliant Ben Daglish. If you don't know who he is, well, go and look at some of the best 8-bit music of all time. Go and search for it, and you'll probably find his name attached to it. Did a lot of stuff for Gremlin actually as well, did Ben. Now let's talk a little bit about the actual game here. Graphics, very nicely detailed. It's obviously using Mode 1 on the Amstrad CPC. Mode 1, quickly, is the sort of second mode on the Amstrad. Right, there's Mode 0 with 16 colours and nice big chunky pixels. Lots and lots of colour. Mode 1 is this one, 4 colours and a higher resolution. And there's also Mode 2, which is never used for games, which is basically like 2 colours and a really, really high resolution. Mostly used for word processors and text and stuff like that, if it ever is. But Mode 1 here, Gremlin Graphics always kind of favoured Mode 1 on the Amstrad. They preferred more detailed, higher resolution. God, I'm saying higher resolution on the, relating to the Amstrad and an 8-bit machine. We're not talking about 1080p here or 60 frames per second. But yeah, higher resolution than Mode 0. They always preferred that, and less colours. That was the Gremlin way for most of their games. And I think it needs it here due to the small playing area. If we had big chunky pixels in this sort of squash tiny playing area, it would look an absolute mess and nightmare. You wouldn't be able to pick anything out at all. But they are nicely detailed, and you know what, I can live with it. I always preferred Mode 0 generally. I don't care if it looks a bit chunky, it looks like an explosion in a Lego brick factory. I like lots of colours. Yeah, and yeah, we came first there. Oh no, sorry, no, we're pitting. We're going into the pit lane. I got distracted there. And we refueled very quickly, and we got into second, sadly. Third now. Excuse me. Sorry, I thought we'd finished the race there. I was distracted. Yeah, we're gonna have a heck of a job now catching up with them. But you want to do the pit stop really, really quickly. Just get a little bit of fuel. Press the fire button. In fact, I was probably hammering the fire button there to get out of the pits. Wow, the third place guy was going really slowly. Sorry, second place guy. Yeah, so when I was in the pits, as soon as like you come to a stop, you start refueling. I was hammering the fire button straight away just to get out of there as quickly as possible. Just get a little bit of fuel and go. I think there's only one course or track in this game where you have to wait a little bit longer to get enough fuel. Now I tend to try and refuel on the penultimate lap. Try and give me some time to catch up. Now I'm in second. Is this whoa. The first place guy just crashed into the back of another guy. That was really lucky. Really, really lucky. Now, I think I said earlier I was trying to aim to get first place in every race on this Longplay. I don't achieve it. I think there's a couple of races where I don't come first. I think I come second or third. And I think if you don't get a lucky break like that, you're not going to get first place on the longer laps at the very least. That needs a fuel pit stop. Sound effects are quite good actually. Oh god, I panicked there and slowed down. I think I actually used my brake for the first time there, which I think I configured to be the fire button or down, or the down key or down position on your joystick. Yeah, sound effects are quite good there, especially the sort of the screeching noise as you go around bends, and the normal sort of car noise, that hum, isn't as irritating as a lot of driving games. It's kind of there in the background. It doesn't grate on your ears too much compared to say like burning rubber, which has really good screeching noises on the bends, but like the car engine noise goes really high pitched at sort of high speeds and it gets really annoying. Cool. Yeah, smash that race. So on to Alaska, race 4 of 15. Note, no pit stops. We've got 5 laps and they're 1.024 miles. Okay, we can definitely do this without a refuel. That for 1.024 miles, that's actually quite short laps, that is. And if you look at the information before a race, like the number of laps and the distance on the laps, you can probably work out if you're going to need a pit stop during that race or not. In fact, I was tempted to sort of like make some calculations. Number of laps, distance, can we do it with the current fuel? I probably should have done that. However, I just ploughed through this long play. I just played through from start to end, and I only gave it a little sort of play test for a couple of days beforehand, before recording this. And it's been many years since I played this game. I think I owned it. Yes, I definitely did own it, and I did play as a kid. I think I just did like the easy section, did a few races, and kind of, yeah, I got through about 4 or 5 races, completed it on the easy level, and I don't think I really came back to it. It is a little bit, I suppose, monotonous because nothing really changes. But I have to admit, doing this long play, I did enjoy it. I really did. If you've got the time to waste and you do like driving games, there's something about this that hooks you in, that makes you sort of come back and want you know, finish more races or whatever. Now this got really high scores at the time. I think it was a 90% a game in Amstrad Action magazine, and they raved about it. And I always wondered, what's the fuss? It's got a tiny playing area. The frame rate isn't brilliant. It's nowhere near as exciting as, say, like Chase HQ or whatever. Even Chase HQ, if you just take away the actually ramming the truck off the road, the catch-up section or whatever, just that pure driving, I think Chase HQ is probably better. So I did wonder why it got such high marks at the time. And initial impressions are perhaps not brilliant, but the more you play it, it sucks you in. It really does. There's something strange about it, and I can see why it got high marks now. I think you would have to play at length. And I think it's that dogfight between with the first and second place cars, just that eventually catching up with them, and then just sort of slowly getting past them. Like we're doing here. Look at that. Oh, just squeaked second. Can we get first? Yeah, there's something that drags you back. However, it is frustrating. Like I said, it is incredibly difficult to get first or second in this game, and it doesn't. It is unrewarding. Well, it's very punishing if you make a mistake. Make a bad mistake, forget about getting first or second unless you get extremely lucky, as in like the first and second place cars get taken out by crashing or themselves, which is very rare. Yeah, it doesn't require a lot of thinking. I mean, you can have automatic gears, automatic acceleration, and only need to move left and right, pretty much, apart from when you have to do a pit stop. It's not much you have to think about in this game. I think that's probably why the Lotus series as a whole was really popular. Now, The Lotus series, there's quite a few games. There was Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, there was Lotus Turbo Challenge 2 and Lotus 3 The Ultimate Challenge. Obviously the first one, Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, is the only one that appeared on the 8-bits, the Amstrad Spectrum and Commodore 64. But that particular game did fantastically well on the Amiga and Atari ST. That was a huge success there. Huge success. And does look fantastic on the Amiga, and really good fun to play. If you want the definitive version of Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, yeah, you want to go for the Amiga version. But the two sequels, Turbo Challenge 2 and Lotus 3 The Ultimate Challenge, really didn't change a huge amount. It was still basically the same game engine. I think the sequel allowed like a full screen, because the Amiga version and the Atari ST version was also sort of split screen as well. And if the second player wasn't playing, then that screen would just show a graphic of the car or whatever, just like this version. But obviously still had a larger playing area than this one. I mean, this is just like letterbox size. Oops, didn't want to do that. And I think there were other racing games that used the same game engine but didn't use the Lotus name. I think probably the most notable one is Top Gear on the Super Nintendo. And I've played that actually, and it's a really good fun driving game. Feels and plays very similar to Lotus. Oh no, no! I was trying to avoid that car on the right there, so I swung to the left, but the road was bending round to the right, so I went off the road there. Oh dear. If I remember, on this race I don't do particularly well. Oh, it's hard to remember now. Oh jeez, nah, that's not good. I'm gonna have to be extremely lucky this race now to get top position. And given we've got 7 laps, I don't know if we're going to need to do a pit stop for some fuel here as well. Oh my god. That was the pit stops we just passed there as well. They're always just past. Oh my god. That is. Whoa! Okay. Wow, so we've done loads of mistakes in this level. I don't know what happened to that car, and very narrowly missed it. But if I'd gone into the back of that, I definitely would have spun off there. And forget about getting first or second. So yeah, the pit stops are always just past the finishing line or whatever of the lap. But in this case it's just after a bend, which is quite nasty. Now the brakes, I have to say, actually are crap. They are. It's really slow to brake. It takes ages to come to a full stop, which makes it very difficult to sort of get a pit in. You want to get in there as quick as possible and out as quick as possible, so you want to brake as sharply as quickly as you can. But your brakes are crap. So What I discovered later on in the game is that I could, to slow myself down quicker, I could go into like the objects at the side of the road. Obviously that's a little bit of a cheat, I suppose, not the right way of doing things, but that will slow you down. I think you'll see me use it later on in this long play. Oh my god, this race is awful. Although I can't believe I'm in second. Just one of those races where everything's going wrong. Perhaps I'm trying too hard. I've noticed that I've been like hugging the inside of the bends really tightly. I'm trying to, hoping that gives me a bit of extra speed. Now, as I mentioned previously, you don't know if you're taking the bends at the optimal, in the optimal way, because your speed never decreases. You don't know if you're taking the bends quicker or slower than you should, because your speed never goes down. The speed is kind of tied to what you're doing on the joystick in terms of accelerating, decelerating. Jesus, I've hit the sides again. The only way we're going to get first in this... Oh my god, the only way we're going to get first in this race is if the first place car smashes into the back of another car that it's lapping, because we must be miles behind it. And I think we'll be lucky to finish this race without needing a pit stop. But if you're halfway through the penultimate lap and it hasn't started flashing the fuel gauge, you might just do it. Again, hit the sides. That can't be the first place car. From the final lap, this can't be the first place car, surely. No, it isn't. Oh dear. So if you're halfway through the second to last lap, the penultimate lap, and the fuel... Whoa, 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 whoa! We're first! Oh my god, that is bloody lucky. You must have like gone into the back of another car, and maybe a couple of times, because we've been doing absolutely awful this race. And we've done it. Blimey. I've still got quite a bit of fuel left, just enough there. So I was just saying, trying to get this through for the third time. If your fuel hasn't started flashing when you're about halfway through the penultimate lap, you're probably going to be able to finish it without having to refuel, as a little bit of a rule of thumb. So yeah, we're just waiting for the 8 cars to get through there. 5 have already finished, 6, 7. A bit of a wait. There we go, end of race at last. Good time as well. So on to Canada, 7 laps, 1.5 miles, and the course is long sweeping curves. Notes none. 7 laps, 1.5 miles. We will probably need to do a refuel on this one. We'll see. And yes, if you finish first, you start the next race in last position, 16th. But if you finish second, you'd start in 15th. Third, you'd start in 14th, and so forth, up to 8th, of course, because that's the qualifying position. So it starts you right at the back of the pack. Which makes things interesting. But yeah, you just want to get past all these, the first 6 or 7 cars as quickly as you can without running into any of them, because they really slow you down and allow the leaders to get away really quickly. So yeah, we're up to 5th, and yeah, we're doing well. Excuse me. Oh, shit, what was I doing there? I don't know why I lost concentration there. I guess because these races are so long and everything's everything's pretty similar. You can zone out sometimes and you lose a little bit of concentration. This is the kind of game where, you know, do a few races, put it down, come back to it another day, do a few more, maybe. I'm not sure I'd want to do, like, was it 16 races, 15 races all in one session? I don't think the game's good enough for that. So you perhaps could have done with like a password system or a save point, but with the benefit of emulators these days, obviously, you know, you can use snapshots and stuff and come back to it another day. And talking of the Lotus series, I think I mentioned already that on their SNES they went on to do the Top Gear games. I definitely know there's Top Gear 1 and Top Gear 2. I see one listed for Top Gear 3000. I don't know if that is part of the series. It probably is. I've played the first two. I played them on my Android tablet actually quite a bit on the SNES emulator the other week, and they're really good fun actually. Definitely Top Gear 2. It is an absolute nightmare to get up to first position, much like the original here. More so compared to the other Lotus games I've played in Top Gear 1. But the later games did actually have turbos and nitros you could use to boost your speed temporarily. Despite this being called Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, you don't get to use a turbo by pressing a button or whatever. Cool, up to second. And there's a first place car, so doing very well. But it looks like we'll probably have to refuel at some point. But it would have been nice to see like the turbo sort of kicking in automatically on your Lotus here or something like that. You know, once you've built a bit of speed, and you know, a lot of these 80s and 90s cars with turbos, there was horrible turbo lag before it actually kicked in. Would have been nice to sort of see like a turbo sort of being activated on the car and your speed suddenly just jumping or whatever. That would have been a nice touch, but oh well. And given the game is first place, excellent. And given the game's quite arcadey for a driving simulator, for a driving game, it would have been cool to have like a press the space bar to activate your turbo or something like that for a short brief period of time, like Turbo Outrun or something like that. But no, you just sit there pretty much the entire lap at full speed, 140 miles an hour. There are no bends that you can't get around in Top Gear, in top speed. Oh, he's caught with me. I had made a mistake then. So there must be something about getting around these bends the right way. Is it going out wide and coming in sharp? Is it hugging the inside of the curve? Or is it letting it drift out and screech around like that? I don't know. I really don't know. It's a strange one. But yeah, we're getting very low on fuel. We're definitely going to need to do it. Whoa. That was close. We're definitely going to need to do a fuel restop on this map, on this course, sorry. Yeah, I think we're going to do it here. So I'm slowing down. Oh. And like the pit lane is very short actually as well to get in. You can easily overshoot it. But yeah, we're down to third, sadly. We just started the penultimate lap, so there is a chance we could catch up. There is a chance. We noticed in the skyline there. Oh, whoa! We've got second. Fantastic. He must have had a little crash. Whoa, what's going on here? No, that was just a car we're lapping. I was going to say, if you notice in the skyline there's a few random green pixels just appeared there. I don't know what that is. Oh well. But I haven't encountered any bugs in the game. Whoa. Yeah, so it's very well programmed, to be fair. It's very tight, you know, there's... Haven't encountered any bugs or annoyances or just like stupid things, really. The steering does feel a little heavy at times. You sort of have to sort of steer in... Oh, hang on, what's this? There's another one. No, it's not the first place car. I don't think we're going to catch him. I'll talk more about the steering there on the next map, next course. So we're very close to the end of this one. I probably spent too long getting refueled. Yeah, very close behind him actually in the end. Okay, so that's the first race where I've come second. I think I perhaps could have slowed myself down quicker getting into the pits by utilising the thing I discovered later on, just sort of crash into the side of the road with all the objects there to slow yourself down really quickly. Hammer the fire button down as soon as you start refueling. Just get yourself a little bit of fuel just to get you over the line, and out you go. Yeah, so I was about 3 seconds behind him. There's no way I was going to catch Mickey Lauda there. Of course, the famous German driver from that, from that Rush movie. Anyway, oh yeah, so, oh well, we got second place there. I didn't get first. So on to Peru, 5 laps, 2.11 miles. Will I need to refuel on this one? Hard to tell. Let's do some calculations on that. But oh yes, we're starting 15th place rather than 16th because we came second. Sorry, excuse me. Bit of a cold. Not feeling great. Oh bloody! I just want to get past that slow coach there. Get out of the way! In these early stages, getting past all these slow coaches, it's danger about trying to squeeze past them and not go off the road and completely cripple yourself. But yeah, the steering is it's a little heavy and lumping. It feels a little bit. So so you're pressing like left to turn left or whatever. It is like literally like sort of a second or two later that you actually feel the car turning. but I think you sort of get used to it. It doesn't feel as bad, for example, as like the steering lag in like Burning Rubber on the Amstrad GX4000 console, the packing title. It sort of works, weirdly. Now, generally, as soon as you see like a sign on the side of the road saying there's a left bend, like or right bend, like here, you could start turning, especially if you're out wide. So you can almost start turning straight away. I would use the arrows at the side of the road to help you through this, especially when you're going over hills, because you can't see the road ahead, but you will be able to see obviously the signs on the side of the road. There are some courses where there's a bend starting right after a hill, and you're on the hill, and and if you haven't started turning, it will be too late, and you're off the road. So always look for the turning signs, the arrows or chevrons, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, so use them, and like I said, you can get around all bends at full speed, as long as you haven't left it too late to be turning into them. If you want to leave it late, perhaps let one or two of the road signs, the turning signs, come past before you start turning, like there. Does that get you around the corner quicker or not? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I can't tell. What I'd like to do actually in this on this game is use manual gears and actually see if it does give you an extra sort of speed boost or a higher top speed. Because I think how they've structured your opponent cars is each of them have like a restricted top speed. Maybe the car we're chasing at the moment in first position has a top speed of, I don't know, 138 or 139. And then they sort of ratchet down from there. Like second place car 137 or something like that, and so forth, which makes it really hard to catch up with them. But what I do like about this race, obviously there's positions, you know, we're in second position, going up to 16th position or whatever. The game is all in like real time, so where the computer knows exactly where the cars are on the track at all times. Oh dear, that was really bad then. And they genuinely are fighting for position from each other, and things can go wrong, as we've witnessed a few times, that cars in front of us have gone into the back of other cars, and they've they've crashed out pretty much, and I managed to beat them. So it's all in real time. It isn't like what is it? What's the game I'm trying to think of? I think it's Continental Circus, where you keep overtaking cars. So like, say for example in Continental Circus, if I just overtook this guy now and he disappears off, oh bloody hell, if he disappears off behind me because I've overtaken him, in Continental Circus if you did that and then suddenly braked, you wouldn't get overtaken by the car. In terms of the computer, in terms of the program, it's gone, it's disappeared. You've reached your position, and that car is now gone. Obviously in this one, in Lotus, you overtake the car, make a mistake, he's going to re-overtake you. He's still there on the course, and the computer is plotting all their positions in real time, which is really cool. Makes for a far more exciting battle, I suppose. But really, what this game could have done with, instead of having that picture of the Lotus there, it could have done with like a mini-map of the course you're on, and like dots representing like the first place car or whatever. I mean, later Lotus games did do that, but yeah, but on this Lotus game, it's not just the Amstrad version. It's the same with even with the Amiga version. It's that the Amiga version still has like a graphic there below the main game screen, and it's not used for anything. In fact, it's pretty much useless, apart from when you're refueling. dogfight here. Can we get past him? We're on the final lap. We're very near the end. Should have took him around the wide there. That's what I'll try and do here. Yeah, I seem to be going quicker around bends than him, and that's what allows us to catch up. And if you do overtake the first place car, sort of try and get in front of him where he would normally be driving to sort of block his path. But every time he goes into the back of you, he will lose speed. But you won't actually, which is a really good thing. There are driving games out there that if another car crashes into the back of you, both of you lose your speed and then positions and stuff like that, which is incredibly annoying. Not in Lotus though, so I think that's a wise choice by the programmers, not to penalise you that way. There we go, got first position, fantastic. Some advertising boards at the side of the roads as well. I can't quite make out what that one is there. I think it says One World and a picture of a world map perhaps. The other one there is Lotus logo. There we go. Right, just waiting for the 8th place car, and that'll be the race over. Just have a drink. Excuse me. Right. Yeah, close one there. Points of a second separating us. So he was right behind me. There we go. Current table 135 points. Brazil, 6 laps, 1.7 miles. And notes there of 2 sharp bends. Hard to know again if we're going to need to refuel. There is probably a simple calculation I can make, obviously the number of miles per lap and number of laps times the 2 together or whatever, and work out, make a note of the number of miles for each course and which courses are needed to, and then we can work out the magic number of miles where a refuel will be needed. And as far as I could tell, the fuel doesn't go down any quicker or any slower depending on the speed you're going at. It's almost like a timer, I suppose. But yeah, not bad start to this course. The lap seems quite short. I think we might be able to sneak this one without having to do a refuel. Awesome, second position on the second lap. Alright, so we are doing well here. So guys, I wonder, perhaps let me know in the comments below, what is your favourite driving game on the Amstrad CPC? Is it Lotus? Is it Nigel Mansell? Either version. There's 2 Nigel Mansell games. Is it JHQ? Is there some sadist out there that thinks Outrun is the best? God no. What other driving games? Burning Rubber. Chevy Chase was actually quite good. Miami GT is quite a good budget driving game. That was good fun. God, I'm trying to think of other driving games. Super Monaco Grand Prix. Now, I tried to do a long play of that, actually, and I just could not get on with it. I forget now what the problem was. I think it was just impossible. Now, I try and get, like, good results. Like here, I'm trying to get first place where possible on every course. And what was wrong with Super Monaco Grand Prix on the Amstrad? I don't know. I think it was impossible to catch up with the leaders. A bit like Lotus, but there was like some courses where I practiced it over and over, and I kind of used snapshots to practice. And I was doing a perfect course, full speed, no mistakes, and I still didn't qualify. What is up with that? Maybe there was something I'm missing. I don't know. It was a long time ago, me looking into that game, and I think I just gave up on it, and I didn't bother doing a long play. That was from US Gold. Typical of them not to play test things and put out shoddy products. But hey ho. Gremlin, however, Gremlin Software, always a good quality company. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, sorry, we could do a replay of that, really. But and they smashed into each other, the two cars. Both went flying off either side. I sort of skidded off a bit, but I don't think I ended up going into the back of any of them, and I was able to sort of just carry on. Because if I got into the back of any of them at speed, I too would have gone flying off. But like, well, we've got first position and we're streaking away now. What other driving games? Oh no, actually I was talking about Gremlin. I'm trying to think of a really shoddy product from Gremlin Graphics, and I'm struggling to think of a really truly terrible game from them. Sure, not all of them have been like, you know, top draw games or whatever, but yeah, I'm struggling to think of a Gremlin game where there actually were gremlins and bugs in them. I think the Mask game, the second Mask game, remember Mask Crusaders, that cartoon, Matt Tracker and all that, that had quite a lot of bugs in it, but it was still a very well presented product. And that's the only slightly dodgy one I can think of right now. Probably is an awful Gremlin game out there somewhere. Let me know in the comments below if you can think of one. Hey, here we go, first position. Other driving games on the Amstrad. God, we mentioned Outrun, but there's Turbo Outrun, which people seem to like a lot. And I was kind of nice about it in my review and long play of that in my channel, Turbo Outrun. In reality, it's pretty much identical to Outrun. All they've done is like jazz the graphics up and added music, and it's surprising the difference that makes. And I didn't hate it. I hated Outrun on the Amstrad, but I seem to like Turbo Outrun. But if you take away the music and just kind of try and ignore the nicer looking graphics, it plays identically. It really does. It's slow, it's horrible. Oh, other driving games. Apart from, there was Outrun Europa. I did a long play of that last year or the year before. Quite recent, actually, that long play. And that was good fun. It's a very sort of strange game, in a way, with how it plays, but it's strangely good fun. Other driving games. Obviously, there was loads of driving games. Supercars from Gremlin. That was a top-down racer. If you like Micro Machines, you might like Supercars from Gremlins, but it is quite slow. But it's a very, very well done game. Excuse me. Coughing away from the microphone there. Oh shit. Power Drift, that was good fun racing game. Oh, there must be loads. Let me know what your favourite was in the comments below. And if people are picking out a favourite, I haven't done a long play for it yet, I might look at that. So where are we now? We're about an hour, 7 minutes, coming up to of this long play. I've got another hour to do. Blimey, will I manage to commentate for it the whole lot? I'm running out of things to say, guys. Oh, just get out the way, bloody Sunday drivers. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there are no obstacles on the track. On other versions of the game, on the Amiga, Notorious Stick, and I think the Commodore 64, you occasionally get sort of rocks or pools of water on the road, which you or roadworks, I think, which you have to avoid, of course. But they were removed from the Amstrad and Spectrum versions, and I can see why. I think with how sort of slow the car moves about the track, I mean, I'm already struggling at points, especially when I'm coming up to car and back to lap, given how slow it's going. To navigate round it, it's a real struggle. Something like, oh my god, hard left, quick, you know, and you're still not moving quick enough to get round him. And I think if suddenly rocks suddenly started appearing on the road, you'd have no time to sort of get round them, because we're moving quickly and we do need to keep at top speed to get anywhere close to beating the first place drivers. I think it's probably a wise move that they didn't include it, especially with the tiny plane area. I mean, I've talked about it already a few times, but I mean the plane area, really, this it's tiny, it's appalling. I know why they've done it. They tried to get, you know, the less the computer has to push through its CPU and stuff or whatever and process, the quicker the game's going to be. So, you know, less things to render on the screen and, you know, whatever, and it'll give a faster game and stuff, which, you know, I suppose if they'd shown me a larger plane area version of the game and it was running at half the speed, then oh my god, yeah, you've made the right decision in yeah, having the plane area that size. But honestly, come on, there are loads of driving games like oh, WEC Le Mans, that's another great one, the forerunner to Burning Rubber. I mean, that was a much bigger screen, very similar looking. It was also in mode 1, also fast, got bends and hills and dips and all that kind of stuff going on, and you're fighting for position in that game as well. That managed it. I don't know why the programmers couldn't manage it on Lotus. Though I don't want to criticise the programmer too much, it's still a really, really good driving game, and some really, really tight programming done here. Maybe he just needed, maybe he just needed a bit more time and a bit more confidence in himself. Certainly the plane area on the next game from the same programming team, the Toyota Celica game, had a bigger plane area, so they obviously did sort of master it. But I don't know how the frame rate is on that compared to this one. The frame rate on Nigel Mansell, which has a larger plane area, there's a lot more going on though, and that does play really slow. The frame rate isn't great at all, but that is still a very, very good driving game. Shit. Am I going to get overtaken there for that? I bet he's right on my arse now. I even thought, maybe my eyes deceived me, but a while back there, after that crash, I thought I saw a flicker of a sprite of maybe a car behind me. I don't know. God, do we risk? Right, this is the decision here. Fuel's nearly out. Do we risk it? We do. We're gonna risk it. And that is a big risk, guys. If you run out of fuel, it is immediate game over. You have to start all over again. Is it worth taking the risk when you can qualify by, you know, you only need 8th position? You've got to have done really terribly not to get 8th, to be fair. No offence to anyone that struggles on this game, but give it a bit of time, get used to it, and anyone can at least... Whoa, 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 we've gone in the back. Oh my god. See what happens there? You immediately go off the road. Oh god. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Second and third, they've just got off the road as well because they went into the back of me. That's crazy. Oh, I'm a lucky bastard. So, to recap, I was about to lap someone, but I went into the back of them. The game takes your car immediately off the road. You lose all your speed pretty much. I moved back onto the road, and the two cars behind me in second and third, both of them went straight into the back of me, and they too went off the road, and I sped off. That's nuts. It's about the most exciting thing to have happened in this game so far. I'm glad I captured that. So there's a little tip. If you do end up going off the road, be a pain in the arse. Get back on the road as quick as you can. Get in the middle and move about to try and get the other cars to go into the back of you. Remember, you don't lose any speed if they go into the back of you. In fact, at lower speeds, it might give you a little speed boost. I don't know. But that was damn lucky. That was damn lucky. So, right, on to Wales. 3 laps, 1.9 miles, no pit stops, and the course is a sprint track. Excellent. So no messing about, because this one's quite short. We have got to get past all these slow coaches in front of us. I tend to move into the middle a little bit. Oh, there's a bend already. If you're overtaking a car, wait for your position to change before you sort of swipe in front of him. Otherwise, you might be driving into the side of him and you'll lose your speed. So up to 8th, maybe 7th if we take this alright. Okay, that's not bad. Not a bad start. Some good driving there. Get me up to 3rd. Yeah, good. A good place to overtake. Weirdly, is on bends. As long as you're not taking it too late, perhaps allow yourself to drift out and overtake on the outer. But usually, it's turning in a lot sooner to undertake, more accurately, on the inside of the bend. Ooh, I think I can see the second place car just in the distance there. I think its sprite is just about appearing there. It's a fairly decent sprite scaling in the game for an 8-bit machine. Yeah, I've really caught up with them. They see what's happening here. They are slowing each other down. They're in a kind of a dogfight between each other, and they must be going into the backs of each other and sort of constantly overtaking each other bit by bit, which is slowing them both down and allowing me time to catch up with them, which is nice. I've got to get past 2 cars at the same time here. Right, good. Got second. I'm on the final lap and halfway through it, so we've got to squeeze by him very soon. Oh, come on! Oh, very nearly went off then. Come on, let's perhaps get him here. On the outside. Yes! Get in front of him. Block his path. Let him go into the back of you if necessary. I think we're going to do this. We don't have to worry about cars. We're going to lap because it's a short race. And there we go. First place. Nice little short race there. Come on, waiting for the 8th place car. There you go, 3 minutes 16.1 seconds. Oh, he had exactly the same time as me. Let's see how that's possible. But I'm on the leaderboard there, top with 195 points. I don't think anyone's going to catch me now, with only a few races left. 11 for 15, Nepal, 7 laps, 1.2 miles per lap. Of course, it's a fast track and notes a few rocks. But the rocks are on the side of the road, remember, not in the actual road, so they're pretty pointless notes. 7 laps, but quite short laps. I wonder if we can do this without refueling. And as always, get in the middle there, get to the left, wait till the position changes and get in front of him. And obviously try and get past as many of these as possible at the start. So that's quite good. Okay, we've got up to 9th already. But I went into the back of him. Oops! No, I didn't want to hit the side of the road there. That will cost me later. So yeah, I suppose I could summarise a bit of a review here. At last, well, it's regarded as one of the best driving games on the Amstrad. Got very high marks at the time, like in Amstrad Action magazine, which was the primary magazine for the Amstrad fans out there. I think it got in the 90% range. Is it the best driving game on the Amstrad? No, definitely not. You may want to hand that to Chase HQ, WEC Le Mans, Continental Circus, but it's probably in the top 5, definitely. And that reminds me, I ought to do like a top 5 or top 10 driving games on the Amstrad video at some point. That would be quite cool. I might be doing a few compilation videos this year. So yeah, nice detailed graphics, although it has a tiny playing screen. The cars look all the same. It's mode 1, so only 4 colours. Would have been nicer in mode 0 perhaps, but with that tiny playing area in mode 0 with chunkier pixels, that would look a right mess, so probably wise to have stuck with that. You can have 2 players simultaneous action. Check that out at the end of the video. The music's really good, of course, coming from Ben Daglish. Sound effects are really good as well for a driving game. They're never going to be fantastic, but car noises and stuff like that, but it's pretty good. Gameplay is good fun. It's kind of addictive. It seems a little bit dull and boring after 5 minutes or so, but it sort of sucks you in, and it keeps you coming back for more to see if you can beat the second place and first place cars in each of the races. So yeah, really good game. I don't think it's an I'm wavering between 8.5 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Ooh. If I was giving this a percentage mark, it would probably be just slap on 90%, but because it's out of 10, I feel like it should be more of an 8.5. It seems to reflect that value better. So I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10, because it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. The fact that you just go full speed at all times around the track. In fact, the game even gives you like an auto accelerate option where you don't even have to press the up key or fire button to accelerate. It just goes to show, really. There's kind of little skill taking bends, and the skill is in just getting past the other place cars. But where the game is really clever, as I've already mentioned, is in its programming. You really are truly racing 15 other cars, and their positions are tracked by the computer all the way around the racetrack. None of that Continental Circus rubbish where you overtake a car. If you slow down, he doesn't really overtake you, he's disappeared into the ether, he's gone. No, you're always battling for your positions in this game, which is really good. So good programming. Now they're trying to increase the realism factor on the next game from the same programming team, the Toyota Celica GT Rally, I think it's called. That became overly difficult. Oh, we've got a fuel flashing there, and we're on the 5th lap. I don't think we're going to do it without needing to refuel, so and remember guys, as I've said a few times already, if you run out of fuel, it is game over. That's it. Back to the title screen, start all over. So you don't want to run out of fuel. Yeah, so I took a break there from recording my voiceover. This is recorded now from this point on at a later time and date, because we're an hour and 23 minutes in, and I kind of ran out of things to say. Let's see if I can carry on and finish this off. Okay, I think we're going to need to refuel here, so I'm slowing down using the brake, and look how slow it takes to brake, and we're nearly at the end of the pit lane. Now we are refueling, hammer the fire button. You only need a little bit of fuel, get out there. I did say earlier that I discovered that you could use the objects at the side of the road to slow you down quicker to get in the pit lane, and we're on race 11 of 15. I didn't discover that till beyond this point, which are quite far into the game. I mean, to be honest guys, I didn't... Whoa, very... Hey, excellent. That was the 2nd place car. He must have had an accident. Yeah, I was going to say, to be honest guys, I didn't practice this much before recording it. Kind of learnt as I went along a little bit. Oh, God, he's going slow. No, he's not the 1st place car. We must be lapping the last place car there. And fuel's flashing again. I think we can just about do it. Final lap. I think we'll sneak it, but we are quite far behind that 1st place car now, so to beat him we're going to need him to make a big mistake and have a little crash, so otherwise I don't think we're going to do it. Oh, that could be him. Whoa. No, it was probably the 2nd to last place car. 15th position, I presume. Isn't it on. Oh yeah! He must have had an accident. Perhaps he went into the back of him. And we've got first place. That was damn lucky. So yeah, you do need a bit of luck in this game, especially on the long courses where you need to refuel if you want to get first place. Must be near the finish line now. There you go. Now we're just going to wait for the rest of the cars to cross over, as always, to the 8th position. That's the qualifying. An advertising board there, the right. Big truck. Gremlin could have used the opportunity to advertise their other games, perhaps, on there. Other driving games did that. I think Burning Rubber was one of them. Burning Rubber is advertising Chase HQ 2, if I remember correctly, SCI, for the GX4000, and that never came out. Well, it did actually. Only 2 copies in existence. Anyway, there we go. Come on, 8th position. I want to move things on. Boy, this is a long play for me. Miles ahead of them. So, next course, Russia, from Russia with Love. Race number 12 of 15. 6 laps at 1.5 miles. I think we might be able to get away without refueling on this one. Sneak into the middle, just a little bit, just to move in the middle there like I was doing. It was literally one key press on the left key. There's a little bit of lag, and you do move quite a bit eventually. That does throw you off. So doing precision driving is quite difficult and quite a skill to get hold of. And certainly the most challenging probably part of the game is that actually at the start and getting past all these slow coaches. Because if you don't get past them quick enough, forget about getting first place, unless you're extremely lucky. We'll try and get through the middle of them. There we go. Yeah, it's unusual for me to do a long play of this length, especially with a driving game where kind of nothing much changes. I don't know, Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenges is a well-regarded game. It's one, oh dear, often talked about as being one of the best driving games, and you know, I actually kind of enjoyed playing this. I thought, what the hell, let's do this. Sometimes I look at games, sometimes I get requests for games to do long plays of, and I kind of discover fairly quickly, it's like, oh my god, this long play is going to be like 2-3 hours old, and it's going to be a nightmare from start to finish because it's complicated or difficult or whatever. And you know what, guys, my time is getting a lot more limited these days, unfortunately. That may change, however. I might end up having some more free time with buying a house and stuff. Once that's sorted and everything's in place, it might actually free up a bit of time and space for me. I'm rushing about like a mad thing these days. I'm having to do lots of overtime at work at the moment as well. So when I'm looking to do a video at the moment, I'm trying to look to do something special, like a big special, I don't know, video like celebrating 25 years, 30 years of the Amstrad computer, whatever model it is. A horror games video I did a few months ago, that was really good fun. 25 GX4000 game, 25 minutes. You know, stuff like that. I don't want to get away from long plays though, but it's kind of like I've done a lot of the ones I've always wanted to do. There's kind of only a few left that I really want to do. Probably the reason I haven't done them is that other people have already done pretty good comprehensive long plays of them already. When someone does that, I usually try and leave a bit of time in between mine and theirs or whatever. People like Metra and Axelino on YouTube, although they haven't done much Amstrad videos for a long time, which is a shame. So when we come down to long plays, you might be end up looking at some more obscure games, and unfortunately, it does have to be worth my time, you know, in places, unless I think the game's really, really special and worth showing off. You know, if it only gets like, you know, only a few views or whatever, it's a little dispiriting. And to invest a lot of time and energy, and as life goes on, and you know, things change, you grow up or whatever, you know, you get less and less time. Work and life takes over, family takes priority, and all that kind of stuff. But I do have a lot of ideas for long plays coming up. There'll certainly be another Amstrad and arcade long play coming up very soon, I hope. That'll be the next sort of pure gameplay video I'm doing. And it's a game that's on both the arcade and Amstrad. So there'll be two separate videos, one of the arcade long play, if I can get it done, and one of the Amstrad long play, which I'm sure I can get done. And it's a game that's been featured, shall we say, relatively recently in Retro Gamer magazine. Anyway, what else do I want to talk about in these in the last half an hour of this long play? Well, actually, funny thing is, during the recording of this long play and starting the editing and commentary and all that, there was a big controversy and storm over YouTube from this YouTube channel called the Fine Brothers. Now, what the Fine Brothers were doing, for a long time now, they've been doing sort of reaction videos, and it'll be kind of like, I don't know, teenagers react to, elders react to, pensioners react to, or whatever, to a certain cultural phenomenon or TV program or game or whatever, and they were extremely popular. And they kind of became the premier channel for that. Now recently they announced a change in their direction, and they were trying to get people to license the React To name under their umbrella and protection, and they get a bit of money, but the person making the video under them gets their support and also their kind of like, you know, presence in the marketplace and marketing, and get the video promoted essentially. But at the same time, they were slapping copyrights on anyone making a React To video. Oh, I didn't use the rocks at the side of the road there to slow me down again. Oh well. And they were slapping people with copyrights and claims and stuff like that over anyone making a React video, which is ridiculous. The React videos have been around for donkey's years. In fact, there have been React videos in television programs before that, and it caused a massive storm, and it was a massive backlash, and it absolutely backfired in their face. But what really interested me is that how can they try and copyright or lay claim to the React To name? And how does that reflect on my channel and affect me? Well, I'm a tiny, piddly little channel, you know. Even in the realm of retro gamers, I mean, I'm tiny still, which is fine. I'm happy with that. I'm happy doing what I'm doing, and I enjoy what I'm doing. And just recently, actually, I didn't even notice, I just got over 2,000 subscribers, which is really, really cool. It's taken a long damn time to get there. How does the trying to copyright the React To thing affect me? Well, I try and do something a little bit unique in my channel for the vast majority, 90% of my videos, which is long plays and reviews. Now, I don't know many channels out there that have done anything like that. Certainly for years, I didn't see any video. And You know, I get a little stick at times. Oh, you're doing a long play, but you can't commentate over it. Ugh, that's wrong. It's not a proper long play. I think there's still a big argument raging between some of my followers and stuff on the what was it, Turrican video or Turrican 2 long play, which is kind of funny. And yeah, so my channel is quite unique in that I do long plays and reviews. I mean, it's only slightly unique, let's be honest, but it is fairly unique. I think a few sort of long play and review channels have sprung up over time, over the last few years. In fact, I'm just going to put in long play and review in the YouTube search. And my god, it's entirely in my videos. I mean, this may not be entirely accurate because of you know, Google and YouTube search algorithms. There's a guy here called Retro Sunday. He's done a long play and review of something. But I'm on page 3 now. And I'm yet to find anyone else do long plays and reviews. And the reason I bring this up is that, like, what if some other channel decided to copyright long plays and reviews? And how would that affect me? Would I suddenly get loads of copyright claims and take down notices and stuff like that? Possibly. I can establish, obviously I've been here for a long time, but basically that's what the Fine Brothers were trying to do, and it bit them in the ass big time. They are hemorrhaging subscribers like nothing else. Oh Jesus, I'm making a right hash of things here. So yeah, thank God they basically backtracked on everything they were planning, issued an apology, rescinded all their copyright claims and all that, on all the videos that they struck them on and hit them with, you know, so fair enough. But you know, I hope to God one day that doesn't really happen to me at some point. I seriously doubt it. There's, you know, fairly unique. I found a little niche, and this is what I do alongside my other videos I enjoy doing, the big videos I do, like the kind of like mini documentaries and compilation videos. Sometimes I do footage of slightly more modern games. I like playing Shadowgun Dead Zone. In fact, I might do another Shadowgun Dead Zone video anyway, just because I enjoy doing it. But long plays and reviews, always the core of my channel, and I'll endeavour to do more. May not always be on the Amstrad, because I've done hundreds of them and I kind of starting to run out of games a little bit, which is a kind of a lie, because let's face it, there are thousands of Amstrad games out there. So I'll never not find an Amstrad game to do. But finding one that's interesting, that people will want to see, and that hasn't been done, is getting a little bit difficult. Although the ones that have been done were done quite a few years ago now, so it's probably fine for me to do them. But I'm kind of duplicating what someone else has already done to an extent. Although they're not doing a long play and review like I do, it's still a long play. And I've also got to make it worth my while, you know. I'm not going to get a huge amount of views, and I'm not going to become top of the search results for that particular game on the Amstrad years down the line, when the other one has had like 10,000 views or whatever. But that's not my sole purpose of doing this channel, to get lots and lots of views and subscribers or whatever. I do it because I enjoy it, and I do it to document the games. So there you go. That's something I wanted to talk about briefly. I was going to do a separate video on that, then I couldn't be asked, and then I got a 2-hour long play to commentate here, so and the review's kind of over. Still got 20 odd minutes to go as well, blimey. I'm sorry for kind of waffling there a little bit and rambling a little bit. I don't do scripts for any of my reviews. I just talk as I see it. I occasionally have on my second monitor open a few tabs in a browser of various bits of information I found. Maybe a notepad document of notes. You know, stuff about the programmers and what other games they've done, anything else interesting I can find, and all that kind of stuff. And that's it. That is my structure of doing long plays and my reviews. I'd like to make my channel a lot more professional. I think on the long plays and reviews I can get away with it. Anything else, I'm trying to make a bit more professional. I bought a really decent microphone. Although I'm a little bit disappointed. It's a little bit sort of bassy and boomy, and I'm trying all kinds of plugins and filters to try and get a much more natural sounding speaking voice. So you'll notice the difference between my speaking voice in this video and a long play and review from last year. But it is better quality. You don't get any hiss in the background like a lot of my videos. God, I watched some of them back and there's horrible hiss from the cheap microphone I used to use. Clicks and pops, and sometimes the volume's like peaking and spiking and stuff and distorting. Oh dear. I've upgraded my PC as well, so now I've got SSD drives in. I've made the computer 64-bit as well. Try and get some higher quality HD videos as well, and get them done quicker. Oh cool, just finished that race. Yeah. So trying to make the channel a little bit more professional over time, and I think you've seen that in a lot of the videos, especially over the last year or two. I've also bought a brand new video camera as well, because the camera I did have was shocking. If you've seen any of the footage I've filmed around my gaff or whatever, I'm filming like my collection, or talking about the Amstrad machine I've got in front of me or whatever, it was an appalling camera, really. In fact, the video camera on my smartphone was a lot better. And some of the more personal videos and into camera I've done, it's been done on my mobile phone. But I've got a brand new video camera. I bought the same video camera that Steve Benway's got. I asked him what he uses. If it works for him, it works for me. So I went out and got that on eBay. Oh, sorry, this is the penultimate race, Greece, I think it was. 7 laps. I think it was 1.4 miles per lap. Sorry, I was jabbering away there. I think we might need to refuel on this one. So this one's going to be tough to get first place. But hey, only this race, the next race to go, and that's the game done. But yeah, I think I mentioned earlier, I think I definitely want to do like a top 5 or top 10 racing driving games on the Amstrad at some point. I think I've looked at all the really good ones now. The problem is, I'm finding and hearing about some sort of Spanish games that were never released outside Spain that are apparently really good. So I've got to go and find and track them down just in case. I don't want to miss them out. I did an A to Z of tennis games actually, and I ended up missing out a really, really good tennis game from Spain. I had to do a separate video on, which was annoying. So this is pretty good so far, up to 3rd place. We're only on the 2nd lap, so we're doing well. No sign of them as yet, but I'm sure we'll catch sight of them on the next lap, I would have thought. There they are. You can see them in the distance, and they're neck and neck of each other, which is good. They'll probably end up slowing each other down. One goes into the back of the other, and so forth, and that gives us time to catch up. It looks like we probably will need to refuel on this lap, so we really want to get ahead of them as much as we can. Oh, I thought I might squeeze through the middle there. It's very difficult to do when they're so close to each other like that. I mean, they're not only slowing each other down, but they're slowing me down. Wow, he's raced ahead. Yes, just got second. We're going to have a job catching up with him though. We've just gone even further in the distance. Still bemuses me, like the speed and physics in this game. I mean, why was he racing off into the distance when we're going at full speed, and now all of a sudden he's not? Is the game randomly speeding him up and slowing him down? Am I taking the corners the wrong way? The bends, sorry. Oh god, he's just overtaking me again. Re-overtaking. And I'm back in first. Still don't know. So hey, programmer Ali Davison, if you're watching and listening to this video, let me know. I'd be very interested. Yeah, don't forget guys, at the end of this video we'll have some simultaneous two-player action. We actually get to use the bottom half of the screen. Yay. So we just turned on to lap 5 and the fuel gauge hasn't started flashing yet. Oh, it has now. This is a big decision. Do we refuel or not? I would say if you're halfway through the penultimate lap, very rough rule of thumb, you're probably alright. But if it's right at the start of the penultimate lap, like this one, you'll probably need to refuel. And it's probably not worth risking having a complete game over because you run out of fuel. Wow, he's going slow. You never know, the second or third place guys might have crashed into him. It looks like they're... Yeah, using the object to the side of the road there to slow me down. Did a little there, but I panicked and did it too late, I think. So I've gone back into third. We're just under 2 laps to go though. We might be able to catch him up. I did that as quickly as possible that time. I was hammering the fire button. As soon as you start refueling, start hammering the fire button to stop it and get out. Well, what's happening here? Ah, no, that was like probably 15th place car. We're lapping. Shame. So we're going to need a little bit of luck and a miracle here to get second or first. Given I've refueled on the penultimate lap, which is a good idea. Don't refuel on the last lap. You'll never catch them up unless like something drastic happens and you're extremely lucky. We might catch them up. Who knows? I mean, if they're still battling against each other, we've got a chance. Final lap, and we haven't caught a sight of them in the distance yet, so on the horizon, so no, I don't think we're going to do it. So maybe a third place finish this time. But it doesn't matter, I mean, we're so far ahead on the leaderboard. I think this probably will be the only race where I haven't got first, apart from on the earlier races. Got fuel gauges flashing again. Oh, what's this? What's this? No, that was like 14th place car overlapping, I think. Damn. It looks like he hasn't hit anyone, like hit the second or first place car, so oh well. Not even caught sight of him. So yeah, you do need a crash to happen for you to beat them if you refuel. Yeah, first and second just gone over the line, and then we weren't too far behind then. Oh well, my worst finish in the game, but it is like race 14 and 15, and there's only one other race that didn't come first, so whatever. Whatevs. Excuse me, I'm just gonna have a drink. Yes, just wait for 7th and 8th then to cross the line. Come on, guys. Now 7th. Yawn. Come on. No wonder this long play so bloody long. You can't skip this as well. Jeez, come on. At last. Cool. So yeah, it's about 2 or 3 seconds behind them. T. Harry Bootson. Anyway, yeah, 262 points. I mean, it's ridiculous. Right, last race, Antarctica. 5 laps, 1.5 miles. Twisty track and snow everywhere. 5 laps, 1.5 miles. Won't need to refuel. Fairly certain we won't need to refuel on this one. So let's blast it. I want to get first place on the final race. Let's finish on a high, a true high, and let's get first place in this one. Come on, Zypho. That's a good start. For those starting new to this game, practice the start over and over. Maybe save a snapshot as you start off, and just practice getting past the first 5 to 10 cars. Get used to doing that. That's my top tip to start with. And get used to the road signs. Wow, this is twisting left and right constantly. I'm struggling to get past these guys. Oh God! Oh no! For fuck's sakes, get the fuck out of the way! Jesus, this is a proper twisty track. My other little tip is just watch for the road signs all the time. When one starts appearing, give it a sign or two before you start steering in that direction. So what's the next sign we're going to have here? It's the pits, ignore them. Oh God, I've got these to overtake still. Left hand sign. You can leave it late steering. Oh, where's the next turning sign? See how long it is before I start steering. 1, 2, there. I left that really late then. Really late. Yeah, maybe it's hard to tell, but maybe like maybe 1 or 2 signs on one side of the road has passed before I start turning. So basically, start turning before you think you need to, before you start seeing the curve in the road. That's my second top tip. My third tip is on the laps that you need to refuel on. Crash into the side of the road. The object's there to slow you down a lot quicker because the brakes are crap. So that's my third top tip. And maybe my fourth tip might be take the corners late. And if you hear the screeching noise on your tyres, that seems to be the fastest way around the bends, which is odd. It's hard to tell in this game. There we go. Anyway, this must be second, first place we're up against now at last. Almost certainly won't need to refuel. So we've just got to get past them and hold it. And hold on to the end. Go on, let's have him. He's gone ahead of me. We're going the same speed. Interesting. No bends. I mentioned earlier, guys. Well, I'm using automatic gears. Apparently, if you use manual gears, according to the manual, the instruction manual, you are able to hit slightly higher top speeds. And you know what, guys? I didn't test that before doing this commentary, like an idiot. But hey, you know, once you get used to the game's easy enough. It's difficult to start with, but once you get the swing of things, it should be too much trouble. But yeah, we've got first place, so we just need to hold on now to the end. And that little achievement's accomplished, and the game's completed. And stick around for some bonus footage, only a little bit. You'll get to hear the other 2 tunes. There's 3 tunes in the game you can choose from in the menu, and yes, simultaneous 2-player action, as I've already mentioned several times already. So the final lap. The fuel's getting very low, but I'm sure we'll do it. As long as we don't have any serious crashes, we'll take the risk. Because the fuel gauge, as I think I mentioned once before, is kind of like a timer. It doesn't seem to go down any quicker or slow depending on your speed, it just does. So bear that in mind. Especially the more crashes you have, and the slower you get around the track, you may have to refuel on tracks that you wouldn't have needed to if you hadn't made those mistakes. Yes. Alright, okay, we're not far from the end then. We're doing well. So make sure we don't go into the back of anyone we're lapping. That could end us. Ah, fantastic. There you go. First place. And they weren't far behind us as well, so one little mistake and could have cost me. But there you go, guys. That is basically Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge completed. And I wonder what we'll get rewarded with. Come on. Now waiting for the 7th place and 8th place to cross the line. Go on, 7th. 8th, come on. Yay, at last. End of race. So, first place. And let's have a look at the final leaderboard. There you go, just above James Hornt. 282 points to his 108. Fantastic. And what do we get rewarded with as for completing the game? Well, we get a nice Mode 1 picture of the Lotus Esprit. Sadly, it's not animated like on the Amiga intro, where the pop-up headlights pop up and flash at you. Oh, I love pop-up headlights. I've owned a few cars in my time with pop-up headlights. I was and probably still am a little bit obsessed by them. But well done. Well done. Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge. Difficult setting. Done. Completed. And review score, guys, 8.5 out of 10. But if I was doing a percentage, it would have sneaked to 90%. Okay. Just thought I'd let this music play out a little bit, and we'll take a listen to the other 2 tunes in the game. Congratulations, you've completed the Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge and qualified for your Lotus license. The 2 numbers you require are 663081 and 297452. I forgot about this. I tried to research what exactly you get. It's somewhere in the manual. So you complete the game, you get write to us with the 2 numbers. You get at the end of the game to get your Lotus license, and there's not much else about it. I don't actually know what you get, and I can't find any pictures on the internet of it. It's probably just a certificate, and that's it. But it's nice. Gremlin went the extra mile for that. And then you get a game over screen, and it's back to the title screen. So, get my Lotus license, blimey. Maybe it's something cool from Lotus themselves, who knows? But I couldn't find anything on the internet for that, sadly. So yeah, we're gonna do 2 players now, just for a short bit. And here's the second tune, which is pretty good. And we'll have a little listen to that for a little bit. And we'll have a little listen to tune 3. And then we'll have some simultaneous 2-player action. Good tune. Not as good as the first one though. Tune 3. Yeah, this is pretty good as well. Better than the second one, I think. From the ever excellent Ben Daglish, as always. And apologies to him in previous videos when he's done music for the Amstrad. I've called him Ben Dalglish. It's Daglish, isn't it? Sorry, Ben. So let's start some simultaneous 2-player action. And I'm doing this on my own, so I've got 2 hands. We're trying to control 2 different cars. So this might prove a little difficult, but you get the idea in the picture. And there you go, we've got split screen action. So of course player 1 at the top there, player 2 at the bottom, and you can see just below their number plate on their bumper, a number 1 and a number 2. Just to help out a little bit. Otherwise, on your screen, if the opposing player is in front of you, they have a flashing arrow above the car. which isn't shown at the moment because player 2 is well behind player 1. But if you watch player 2's screen at the bottom there, you should see me coming up. There you go, look, there's a flashing arrow that indicates that is your friend you're racing against. But you'll notice that the frame rate has dropped quite a lot. It does now start chucking quite a bit. Yeah, I'm crashing quite a lot here because I'm trying to control 2 cars simultaneously. Yeah, the frame rate's dropping quite a bit, and you can see why now, that for the one-player game it just has that tiny screen at the top there. That's not to say that the Amstrad can't handle near enough, I wouldn't say full screen, but a large screen driving game. Look at Chase HQ, for example. Look at WEC Le Mans. Look at Continental Circus. Much bigger playing areas, better frame rate, even in one-player mode. There you go. That is some two-player simultaneous action. It's still fun. It is still playable. Yeah, sure, the frame rate's terrible now, but it's still playable. And would have been a good laugh against a mate of yours at the time. Yeah, I'm crashing horribly there. So, yeah, I'm going to leave this review here. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please click a like below, leave a comment, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And over that way, there's another video for you to check out. Zypho, out.